Well, this is an experience that I had. I've never had this kind of experience before. So I'm working on a couple videos, doing some research. I get a knock at the door and then another knock. And then the doorbell's ringing like crazy. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? So I go to the door. I don't open the door. Who is it? Tahlequah Police Department. What do you want? Is Isaiah Young there? That's my son. Uh, what? So I just went in and opened the door. Probably not a good idea to do that for cops. But I opened the door. There's these two cops standing here. Is Isaiah Young here? Wait, let's slow things down. What's going on? There was a hit and run accident. I'm like, okay, tell me, give me some more details. What's going on? Well, apparently Isaiah, who is he in relation to you? I'm like, he's my son. Is he okay? I'm at this point, I'm just concerned that, he's hurt. So they said, no, there was a hit and run accident. The driver called the dispatch and said that your son hit their car. The ambulance had to come and rush the lady who's the passenger of this vehicle to the hospital. And I'm like, what? First of all, and I know people chalk this off for, oh, that's just parental preference toward your kid, but that's not in any of my kids' character to do. If they damage somebody's property, they're going to stick around. They're going to be responsible. If somebody's hurt, they're going to see this thing through to the end. And if there's any kind of property damage, they're going to suck it up and they're going to pay for it. By no means would any of my kids do a hit and run. So I'm like, the officer said, does Isaiah Young live? Is Isaiah here right now? And I said, no, he's not here. Does he live here? And I'm like, no, he doesn't live here. Hold on one second. Let me just give me a couple minutes. Let me give him a call. They said, okay, we're going to hang right here because this is serious. We need to take care of this. So I close the door. I call Isaiah. He gets on the phone right away. And I'm like, hey, man, where are you at? I'm at my apartment. Did you just get into an accident? He's like, no, what are you talking about? How long you been at your apartment? He goes, I don't know, about an hour. And I said, well, I have the cops at my door right now saying that you were involved in a hit and run and you're the person who hit and ran. And he's like, that's ridiculous. I didn't do that. And I said, I know you didn't, but they're here nonetheless. And he goes, well, you can take a look at my car. If there's a hit and run and somebody went, because I had already told him somebody went to the hospital and it sounds pretty serious because they had to be transported by ambulance. And he said, you could take a look at my car. There's not going to be anything on it. As a matter of fact, I'm walking out to my car right now just to make sure nobody hit me while it was sitting in the apartment parking lot. I said, okay, the cops are coming over to your apartment right now, and I'm going to be right behind them. Me and Trish got in the car. The cops got there probably about 2-3 minutes before me and Trish did. And sure enough, we're going around the entire vehicle. There's not a scratch on my son's car. I mean, it's filthy, but because he does roofing work and they're at a bunch of construction sites and stuff. But not only is there not a scratch, there's not even any smudge mark on the, it's not an inch thick, but all the dust and the mud all over the car. There's not a mark at all in the car. And the cops are just sitting there going, what's going on here? And it's starting to get dark and they're taking their flashlights, looking on the side of it. And I'm asking the cops, okay, let me get this straight. These people said Isaiah hit their car and there's major damage on their vehicle, the cop said, and it was such bad damage that the woman in the passenger side was so hurt they had to call the ambulance and be transported to the local hospital, which is Tahlequah Medical Center. And they said, yeah, that's the story. I'm like, something's not adding up here. There's some monkey business going on. And they go, yeah, I can see that. And hats off to these two officers. As soon as this video gets done rendering, maybe sometime tomorrow after it completes rendering, I'll try to get their names and the Tahlequah phone number, because hey, if cops do good, they were doing good investigative work. They were out there basically acting as detectives, trying to figure out what's going on. So I said, okay, let me get this straight. This woman was transported to Tahlequah Medical Center. So they're there right now. He said, yeah, and it sounds like it's pretty serious injuries. And I'm like, okay, all right, well, what's your next stop? I was asking this cop, and he said, well, we're going to go to the hospital and ask these people some questions. I'm like, okay, fine. So they left after they were convinced that there was nothing wrong with my son's car. Oh, there's one more element to this. My son said when he was coming home from work, around the time this accident was supposed to have occurred, and my son asked the cops, did it happen to be like a red pickup truck, a red Chevrolet pickup truck? Because my son is super aware. This is the kind of kid. Let me tell you how responsible this kid is. First of all, this is the kid who at 17 came to me and he said, "Hey Dad, when I'm 18 years old, I'm going to move out." And I'm like, "What? Why?" He goes, "Because, I figure at 18, I'm a man and I don't need another man taking care of me. It's sink or swim. If I can't take care of myself, if I can't take care of myself, what kind of man am I? And if it gets bad enough, I'll live under a bridge or a tent, but I'll be danged if I have another man take care of me. So when I'm 18 years old, I'm getting an apartment, I'm moving out." And I'm like, "That's my boy right there, man. That's my boy." That's the kind of, this kid is just, all my kids are like that. So anyway, also, he's the kind of driver who, if he takes anybody anywhere, it's like, "Okay, guys, put on the seatbelt. I don't want any missiles behind me. You guys aren't going through my cranium, not on my watch." So he makes everybody seatbelt. He's super careful about the speed limit, and he makes sure he looks left, right, and left again, even when he's got the green light. This guy is super conscientious, and that's how I think he knew that it was a red pickup truck. He's super aware. And the cop goes, "Yeah, it was a red pickup truck. How do you know?" He goes, "Because I was at the same intersection. The truck was on my right-hand side. I was on the left-hand side. We stopped at the red light at the same time, and they took off before me. So what happened was they took a picture of Isaiah's car and his license plate, and they called his car, his make and model, and his license plate into 911. And sent out, a dispatch to have him picked up for hit and run." Well, anyway, the cops leave. About 2-3 minutes after they leave, I was like, "You know what, babe?" I was talking to Trish. I was like, "Let's go to the hospital. I want to see this truck." Because they're probably there right now. If they transported this woman to the hospital in an ambulance, I can only assume the guy probably took his truck, if it's drivable, see what kind of damage it is. So sure enough, we found the red Chevy pickup truck in the parking lot of Tahlequah Medical Center. I went around that entire thing, and I didn't care who saw me. And I saw the cops up near the overhang by the medical center, over where the helipad is, where the helicopters come in. And I saw them talking to somebody, so I'm assuming that it was the driver of this vehicle right here. But I looked all around, and all I could find was on the front of the chrome part of the bumper was a little nick about that wide and maybe that deep. It looked like it'd been there for a long time. No possible way this could have been, my son did this, because there's no damage on his car. Before the cops left to go to the hospital, I told that, actually Trish told them, "Hey, you should probably make these people aware that if they are committing insurance fraud," and this would be medical and vehicle insurance fraud, because surely they're going to try to collect on whatever damages on their vehicle, and they're going to collect for medical insurance. I don't know how much it costs to be transported by an ambulance, but I'm sure it's a pretty hefty sum. And then to go to the hospital, you're talking a couple grand. And Trish was going, "Make sure if they know that if this is medical and insurance fraud, medical insurance and vehicle insurance fraud, they can get into some serious trouble." And the cop goes, "Yeah, we're definitely going to make sure, because there's something going on here." So they're talking to these people at the front, and they get done by the time I do a couple walk arounds on this truck, and the cops leave. And I call the cop later because I got his card, and he said, "Yeah, I just left your son a message. Those people that we talked to, they were going to press charges until we said it's a very serious issue if you guys are engaged in vehicle or medical fraud," and immediately they dropped it. Oh, and another thing is, when I was going around the vehicle, the reason I couldn't get up to the cops before they left is another guy in a red Dodge pickup truck came out, and he goes, "What are you doing walking around that vehicle?" And I looked over at Trish, and I was like, "We're private investigators. We're checking out an accident, a fraudulent insurance claim." He's like, "Oh, what are you talking? What are you guys talking about? That's my son-in-law and my daughter's car." So I got their names, I got his name, and he was being real belligerent at first until we said that, we're private investigators trying to figure out what's going on here, because it looks like somebody's putting in a fraudulent insurance claim. But I thought that was interesting. And, hats off to you guys. If you guys are watching this from the Tahlequah Police Department, you guys did your jobs. You did a good job. You were You were the detectives you should have been. You unearthed the truth that should have been unearthed. And, you know, the people who were guilty of potentially trying to pull off insurance fraud didn't get away with it. And an innocent party wasn't charged. So I wanted to share that with you. I thought it was interesting. That's in the course of my life, that kind of thing has never happened to me. I can't even imagine what can be in somebody's heart or how bad it has to be in your life to take an innocent individual and try to pin something like that on them. I know it happens all the time. I just haven't personally experienced it. Have you guys experienced anything like that? Hey, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for the thumbs up. I didn't even expect there to be 500 people in this room, 143 likes. If you guys like these kind of videos, let me know. See if we can get us up to 200 likes. It really helps with the algorithms. Thanks, Happy. I appreciate that. It said, glad your son is safe. Yeah, me too. He's just a good kid, man. I just have good kids. I'm super blessed, man. They're super responsible. Both my boys have really good jobs. My daughter works pretty close to Nashville and Gallatin. She's got a super good job. And, you know, they're just upstanding kids, you know. They live by the golden rule. Do to others what you would want done to you. And so when you know somebody's character, if somebody's bringing a charge against them, you know immediately that it's a freaking lie. Al Bundy drops a super chat and says, we're always here for you. Thank you. Oh, man, you guys just totally got it over 200 likes. Thank you very much. Hey, what's up, Mark Yeager? How you doing, man? Mark Yeager is in my neck of the woods. Handsome young kids. Thanks, Mark. Mick says 24/7 support here. Thanks, Robbie Patterson. And you always need to thumbs up, Brian. I do every time. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. 245 likes. That's crazy. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Chozo. Tell your kids to buy a dash. Thank you. Thank you, Aware Amalek. I had a spare dash cam from, I got rid of my Ford F-350 and it had a dash cam in it. As a matter of fact, Isaiah helped me put that in and I gave him that dash cam. I said, dude, you got to install this and keep this running at all times. I gave him a 64 gigabyte little scan disk inside of it. But I totally agree. Thanks, Aware Amalek. That's a very good thing. Having a dash cam hooked up and going anywhere you go. You can look at YouTube video after YouTube video on the internet and see that people got out of some crazy stuff where cops lied and said you were doing this, or you didn't come to a complete stop at that stop sign, or you were going 55 and a 35. Specifically, get a dash cam that has GPS or the ability to be able to calculate, you know, the time and your miles per hour, kilometers per hour, or whatever. Thank you, Aware Amalek. Thank you, because I meant to include that in this video. I would have totally forgot. The one guy with 87 kids just died at 76 years old in India or somewhere. That's funny. RFB says you're a Freemason. What? That's disappointing if you said that. Hey, Kevin Cade, can you, under this video, can you drop a link to that? Richie from Boston really said I'm a Freemason? Holy cow. Is that recently? That's disheartening. I don't have anything bad to say about Richie, man. Darn, man. That hurts. Big time hurts. I'm not a Freemason, guys. I would never do that. Join a secret society like that. Let's see. Just seeing this. What's up, Michael? What's up, Robbie Patterson? Thanks for raising good kids, says mostly peaceful Jim Eagle. Man, kids are such a blessing. That's the most rewarding things. One of the most top of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my entire life. What shirt should I get? If you look at the store, look at my last coffee video. Coffee's, it says something like coffee spelled backwards is EFOC. Coffee spelled backwards is EFOC. I don't give EFOC unless I've had my first cup of coffee. I don't know, something like that. Anyway. Damien, love you back, man. Appreciate that. SanDisk. Everyone calls it ScanDisk. Oh, did I say ScanDisk? I meant SanDisk. John Williams, thank you for that $5 super chat, man. Yeah, get a dash cam, guys. I got a rear facing on this vehicle. I only have one vehicle now. On this vehicle, I got a rear facing and front facing dash cam. I think the best ones are the rear, front, and cab. So if a cop pulls you over, it's mounted in such a way where you can see the cop and it's got good audio. I don't know if that's one unit or something separate. I'm not sure, but you know, always record the cops, always. Luke himself says RFB didn't claim he was a Freemason. RFB didn't say that. I would be hurt. I would be surprised if he said that. And if he truly did say it, I don't know, it would hurt. Let's see. RFB is MIA. I haven't seen it. Last I saw, he was on BitChute, so I got nothing bad to say about Richie. I think he really tries. Don't worry about what others say. I know it's easy to say, Serious Moonlight, but I would be lying to you if I said I didn't worry about it. I don't know. It's an internal flaw. It's an internal flaw. What can I say? Hey, I'm a human being. I'm a human being. Freemason, that stuff's expensive. I'm not going to name call Richie from Boston. I love the guy. How did this woman get his name and hit and run? Oh, somehow they turned around, and when Isaiah was at another stop sign or something, they were behind him and took a picture of the rear of his license plate. It's weird. Just weird that anybody would go out of their way and do that. Brian Chill says, "Hey, Bombay. I can't chill out. I ain't gonna chill out, man. I ain't chilling out." 342 likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We love your videos, brother. Thank you. RFB has been ill. That's man. I meant to reach out to him one time and discourage him, or just talk to him about why he vapes. Guys, vaping I think is very dangerous. If you guys vape, I don't know, maybe think about doing something else, like, I don't know, chewing natural gum or something. Let's see, I missed a lot here. Let me see. We got your back, Brian, says Frank Johnson. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Oh, Kevin Cade, were you joking with me? That's mean. All right, guys, I'm going to keep this as short as possible. If you guys enjoy these videos, please like it and share it with everybody you know. If you want to support the channel, really one of the best ways you can do it is just hit the like and the share button. There's 383 likes right now and 512 people in the room. It'd be awesome if we could get up to 400 likes before the end of the video. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being in the chat room and making this thing what it is. Guys, truth fears no scrutiny. It's a pleasure and an honor and freeing to just live according to the truth and live according to the golden rule. I mean, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it at all. And I will, because you guys requested it and I really enjoyed doing it, I will be firing up the man on the street interviews. If you haven't seen some of those on this channel, take a look at them. 409 likes. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. You rock. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.